Breaking news. Jalen Hurts is done being silent, and now the NFL better be ready. After lighting up minicamp and showing incredible growth this offseason, the Eagles' QB1 looks like a brand new beast. But despite all the proof, the media still doubts him, still questions his talent, still tries to bring him down. But this time, they're going to regret it. What's happening inside the Eagles camp isn't just exciting, it's dangerous for every defense in the league. And with one former player saying Philly won't return to the Super Bowl, it's time to expose the truth. There's something special happening with Jalen Hurts, something the rest of the NFL needs to worry about. After a truly electric minicamp and an offseason where he's looked stronger, sharper, and more focused than ever before, Hurts has sent a loud and clear message. He's not just back, he's better. But somehow, the media doesn't believe it. Instead of praising his progress, they're questioning his legacy. Instead of noticing his fire, they're calling him overrated. And all this doubt, it's only pushing him harder. Jalen Hurts isn't listening to the noise. He's using it as fuel. Let's be real. Once a quarterback reaches the Super Bowl, the conversation changes. The spotlight turns harsher. The praise turns into pressure. People start asking, can you do it again? Are you just a one-hit wonder? Even greats like Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Matthew Stafford have heard these questions, winning once and never making it back. Now Hurts is in that same spotlight. But here's the difference. This offseason feels different. Everyone in the Eagles building sees it. Players, coaches, and even reporters are saying Jalen looks more locked in than ever before. His throws are tighter. His reads are quicker. His leadership is louder. Just last year, around this time, he was struggling during OTAs. The endless changes at offensive coordinator were starting to wear him down. People wondered if it was all too much. But now, he's stronger, mentally and physically. He's stepping into 2025, not as a question mark, but as a man on a mission. Let the media doubt. Let the haters talk. Jalen Hurts is ready to silence them all, one throw at a time. What do you think? Will Jalen Hurts prove the world wrong this season? Drop your predictions in the comments and rate your confidence in the Eagles making it back to the Super Bowl on a scale from 1 to 10. Let's talk about something people love to forget. History. For over 20 years, not a single quarterback who lost his first Super Bowl ever came back to win one. Jalen Hurts changed that. He didn't just come back, he conquered. He climbed the mountain again and brought Philly its long-awaited Super Bowl win. But was that enough? Of course not. Now the goalposts have moved again. Suddenly the story isn't about his heart, his toughness, or his incredible comeback. No, the new headline is, he's on a super team. He's just riding along. He's not the reason they win. Seriously, just days ago, a Chiefs fan and content creator lit Twitter on fire, calling Jalen Hurts a freeloader, someone just tagging along with a loaded roster. Not only was it insulting, but it was wildly unfair. And if that wasn't enough, this morning a Philly sports radio station, yes, his own city, released a list of the top 11 athletes in town. You'd think the guy who just won MVP and a Super Bowl would be a lock. Nope, he wasn't even on the list. This isn't just coming from bitter Cowboys fans or salty Chiefs supporters anymore. It's coming from people in his own city, people who should be backing him. But Jalen Hurts sees all of it. He hears the whispers, reads the headlines, and he's not ignoring it. He's using it. At minicamp, he spoke clearly about pushing himself even harder. He doesn't want to just stay good. He wants to get better. And the way he talked, you could hear it in his voice. He's more motivated than ever. He said it himself. Maybe there's more I can do. I just want to advance my game. That's the key to Jalen Hurts. He's always improving, always grinding. In 2022, people said he couldn't pass. So what did he do? He came out firing with A.J. Brown and stunned the league. In 2023, he threw too many interceptions. So what happened next season? 36 total touchdowns and only 4 turnovers, none during the playoffs until one minor mistake in the Super Bowl. This man learns from his pain. He builds from criticism. And now that the hate is back, that fire in him is burning hotter than ever. Now the talk is all about the Eagles' passing game needing to improve. And guess what? That's where he's headed next. Jalen already has elite escape ability. He's a nightmare for defenses on the run. Even a legendary defensive coach like Steve Spagnuolo admitted on the New Heights podcast, when it's third down, Jalen Hurts terrifies coordinators. But imagine if he adds a deadly passing game on top of that. The league isn't ready, and if Hurts has anything to say about it, 2025 is going to be the year he silences everyone again. Do you believe Jalen Hurts is just riding the Eagles' success, or is he the real engine driving this team? Let us know in the comments. Rate your confidence in Hurts on a scale from 1 to 10 and tell us where you think he ranks among the NFL's top quarterbacks right now. There's one moment in every NFL game that separates the average teams from the elite, and that's third down. And no one understands this more than defensive legend Steve Spagnuolo. He recently shared something that speaks volumes about how dangerous Jalen Hurts really is. Spagnuolo said, "If a quarterback can run for 7 or 8 yards on third down, it changes everything." Think about that. Even when you have the perfect coverage, the right defensive setup, the ideal formation, Jalen Hurts still beats you. That's exactly what happened in the Super Bowl. It looked like the Chiefs had him locked down, but he found a crack in the pass rush, escaped, and turned a broken play into a first down. That's Jalen Hurts. That's what makes him different. Now, imagine Hurts taking that elite running ability and pairing it with an even better passing game in 2025. Just pause and think about that for a second. Tom Brady, the GOAT, already warned us back in February. He said, "When Jalen Hurts gets into rhythm with his throws, the Eagles are almost impossible to stop." Let that sink in. When Jalen finds his rhythm, he becomes a nightmare for defenses. A blend of speed, accuracy, and confidence that's terrifying to plan against. And here's what's even more exciting for Eagles fans. The front office believes this too. They've made major moves to elevate the passing game this offseason. Promoting Kevin Patullo, the passing game coordinator. Hiring quarterback specialist Scott Lillaire to sharpen Hurts' mechanics. Bringing back his reliable target, Dallas Goedert, to give him that safety valve when pressure comes. The message is clear. 2025 will be the year Philly flies through the air. And yes, they still have Saquon Barkley coming off a record-shattering 2024. But you better believe defenses are going to key in on him first, just like the Chiefs did in Super Bowl 59. When Barkley got shut down, Hurts was unleashed, throwing freely, confidently, and dominating through the air. That's exactly what we'll see more of in 2025. Now, I'll be honest, even I had to remind myself of all this over the weekend. I got pulled into one of those endless Twitter arguments. Is Jalen Hurts really great, or is he just okay? It's June. It's the off-season. People need something to argue about. And for some reason, every single year, Hurts becomes the center of the debate. But here's the truth. Jalen Hurts is different. He sees the hate. He hears the doubt, and even if he acts like he doesn't, you know he absolutely does. And what does he do with it? He turns it into fuel. After a Super Bowl MVP season, people are still talking down on him. So now, heading into 2025, Hurts is coming back more focused, more driven, and more determined than ever before. And even though the public sees videos of him playing golf or celebrating his wedding, yes, he just got married in Napa Valley. Congrats, by the way. What they don't see is what's happening behind the scenes. At the NovaCare complex, coaches and teammates are seeing a laser-focused leader putting in serious work. And that drive, it's not new. Former wide receiver Alshon Jeffrey said it best on a podcast last week. You could see it from day one. We all knew. If he was on this team, we were going to be a problem. That's the kind of player Jalen Hurts is, a natural-born leader, a relentless competitor, and a quiet storm ready to explode. How dangerous do you think Jalen Hurts will be in 2025? Will defenses finally stop him, or are we about to witness his best season yet? Drop your predictions in the comments, rate your confidence in Hurts from 1 to 10, and tell us if you think this Eagles offense will be the most unstoppable in the league. From day one, Jalen Hurts was different. His teammates saw it right away. Back in his rookie year, when Hurts was just the scout team quarterback, he was shredding the Eagles' first-team defense every single day. He didn't complain. He didn't talk trash. He just kept getting better. That's what everyone says about Hurts. He's a grinder. His work ethic is unbelievable. And now, heading into the 2025 season, that same work ethic is about to fuel something special. I want to know what you think. What are your expectations for Jalen Hurts this season? Here's mine. I think we'll see a version of Hurts that looks similar to last year, but sharper and more dangerous. Sure, there will be games where the offense leans on Saquon Barkley, especially if the passing isn't clicking. But I've been saying this all offseason. With Kevin Patullo promoted and calling more of the shots, this Eagles offense is going to be more pass-focused than ever before. Hurts is coming for the doubters, and he's coming fast. Now switching gears, Eagles in free agency. Let's talk about the buzz around the Eagles secondary. Over the weekend, CBS Sports predicted that former All-Pro Jaire Alexander could sign a one-year, $16 million deal with the Eagles. Now hold on. That's just a prediction, not a done deal. And honestly, $16 million for a guy who struggled to stay healthy the last 2 years feels high. Even ESPN's Jeremy Fowler agrees. He said Alexander is more likely to land a deal somewhere above $10 million, but definitely below the $17 million he was getting from the Packers. Let's put this in perspective. Earlier this offseason, the Eagles let Darius Slay walk rather than match the $10 million per year deal he got from the Steelers. But here's the twist. Slay is about to turn 34. Alexander, he's just 28. So maybe, just maybe, the Eagles take a shot and offer a one-year, $13 million deal. Slightly more than Slay, but nowhere near $17 million. It's possible, it's realistic, and it could help patch up this aging secondary. And then there's Justin Simmons. The Eagles have also been heavily linked to All-Pro safety Justin Simmons. According to Fowler, Philadelphia and one other unnamed team are now finalists to sign him. Why Philly? Simple. It's all about the defensive scheme. Simmons wants to play in a system like the one Vic Fangio runs, and that's exactly what the Eagles offer. That's why Carolina is also in the mix. Their coaches come from the same Fangio tree. But here's where things get tricky. Does Simmons still make sense for the Eagles? Honestly, unless there's an injury in training camp or Sidney Brown and Drew Makuba fall flat. Maybe Philly passes on Simmons altogether. He's talented, no doubt, but if the young guys can step up and hold their ground, the Eagles may not need to spend big money here. What do you think? Should the Eagles spend to bring in a veteran like Jaire Alexander or Justin Simmons? Or should they trust their young guys and let them grow into the role? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and while you're at it, before listening to the latest news, subscribe to the channel, like it, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Let's move on to the new news. Rooster. Right now, there just doesn't seem to be a spot in the Eagles' secondary for Justin Simmons. Why? Because a team like Carolina can easily offer Simmons more money, and maybe even a multi-year deal. Unless Simmons is only focused on playing for Vic Fangio, chances are he's going to sign with the highest bidder. And let's be real, that won't be Philadelphia. Gardner-Johnson takes another shot. But here's something else that isn't going away. Gardner-Johnson still has beef with the Eagles. Over the weekend, he went live on Instagram, again, and dropped another bold statement. You won't see another ring without Philly. That's crazy. They probably won't see it without me. He didn't stop there. He kept on saying he's glad he's in Texas now and made it very clear he still hasn't gotten over being traded. And look, I respect CJ. He helped Philly win a Super Bowl last year. He played hard. But at this point, how many times does he need to tell us he's upset without actually saying it directly? Sure, he was on the team in 2022 during the Super Bowl run. And yes, he was back in 2024 when the Eagles won it all. He wasn't there in 2023, during one of the worst defensive seasons in recent memory. Some fans will argue he was the missing piece. But let's not forget, the defense was dominant without him. In 2024, the Eagles' defensive line dominated. Zach Bond turned into an All-Pro, and the rookie defensive backs stepped up big under Vic Fangio. CJ was just one part of the puzzle, but not the whole picture. Even Pro Football Focus now ranks CJ Gardner-Johnson as the 13th best safety going into 2025, not even in the top 10. His former teammate Reed Blankenship is right behind him at number 15. And honestly, even if the Eagles replace CJ with the 24th best safety in the league, Fangio's system is strong enough to keep this defense elite. So yes, I love what CJ did for this team. He's a great player, but it's time for him to move on from the trade. Philly already has. Big things coming. There's a lot more coming in the next few days. including what might be our first player interview of the offseason. It's not confirmed yet, but you'll want to be here when it drops. Let me know who you think it might be in the comments below. And before listening to the latest news, subscribe to the channel, like it, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Let's move on to the new news.